This is spaghetti cacio pepe, a really simple pasta to do, but often it's made incorrectly. And how many times have you made it and all the cheese clumps together? We're going to show you how to avoid that now and how to make it the right way. So we're going to start with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. And we are going to add pepper, and we've set the pepper mill to be a little bit coarser because this dish is all about cacio e pepe. By adding the coarse pepper to the olive oil, it sort of toasts the pepper a little bit. It makes it a little more fragrant. It really brings out all the great attributes of pepper. And a little bit of toasting does that. Now we're vigorously grating pepper here, but remember this is for a pound of pasta. For this dish, you need about 30 turns of the pepper mill, more or less. And I haven't been counting, but I think I'm about there. And while that is toasting, we're going to add the pasta to the pasta water, but we want to salt the water first. Give it a quick stir, make sure it's not clumping together. We'll be back and to stir it every couple minutes or so. You can see here that this is starting to sizzle a little bit. That is what we're looking for. This is becoming quite fragrant. I just want to toast it, so I'm going to turn the heat off. And I'm going to keep stirring the spaghetti. And for this dish, the cheese, or the cacio cheese, is actually going to be Pecorino Romano, about 2 cups. Again, finely grated with a microplane because it really helps to make the sauce nice and creamy. Simple pasta, very, very satisfying, easy to make, and easy to make mistakes on. The biggest mistake that we make when we make this is that we continue to cook it once we added the cheese. And if you do that, it's all going to clump up. It's not going to be what you want. My favorite ingredient when making pasta is always pasta water. It's always the ingredient, the secret ingredient that you add that makes everything nice and creamy. It's like the magic potion that finishes each pasta dish. The water's salted, no need to add oil, just keep stirring the pasta, make sure it's not clumping together. And we wait for the pasta to cook. A lot of times if the temperature gets too low on the water and the boil slows down, I'll just put the lid back on to bring it back up to temperature really fast, but always keeping an eye on it to make sure it doesn't boil over. So I'm going to add a little bit more extra virgin olive oil to the bottom of our ceramic bowl. We're going to need a little bit more pasta water because of this dish doesn't really have a lot of going on as far as ingredients go. So we need a little bit more pasta water than we normally do. But I'm only going to start with about 1 cup, and I'm going to have another cup on hand in case I need it. Now I'm going to add that to the toasted peppercorns and olive oil. And turn the heat off. We put a little bit of olive oil on the bottom of the bowl here. I'm going to add a little bit of this pepper pasta water mix. Just sort of tempering everything, make sure it's at the right temperature. One of the best ways to see if the pasta's done is to taste it. So close. It's just still a little bit firm. It's definitely, it appears to be pliable enough. So you really feel it. It's there on the outside. It's pliable, but when you get to the very center of the actual pasta, there's still a little undercooked. Give it one more try. I'm gonna say it's ready to go. So I've reserved another cup of the pasta water. I have about a cup in with between the pepper olive oil mixture here and in the bottom of the bowl. And we're gonna strain the pasta. I'm gonna put the pasta into the ceramic bowl. I'm going to add the rest of the olive oil, pasta water, pepper mix. I like to do this with 2 forks. And first I want to get this all mixed together so the pepper's evenly distributed. And this is where a lot of the mistakes are made. By adding the cheese and putting it back on the heat, it'll never be what you want it to be. We're waiting a little bit here just so the pasta starts to absorb the pasta water. Now we're gonna add a little bit of the cheese, probably about half of it, and just keep mixing. The more you mix, the creamier it gets. Add the rest of the cheese. Keep the pasta moving. And now we're coming, you can see it's starting to come together. The sauce on the bottom, nice and creamy. It's like the original macaroni and cheese. Sauce thickens up. I don't know if you can see now, it's just beautiful, creamy. Just about another minute and it will be just a little more thicker. But the key is to keep moving it. All right, I think that's really perfect now. But now if you can see, the sauce is now super thick and creamy. One more last turn. Now it's really starting to coat the pasta. You can see the sauce is perfect because the peppercorns are not sinking to the bottom of the bowl. They're actually adhering to the pasta. And then we're going to finish it with just a little bit more pecorino romano, because you can't have too much cheese and pepper in this dish. As simple as it is, it's incredibly delicious when it's done the right way, off the heat. This is spaghetti Cacio Pepe Roman style.